Alright, hello. I'm back for another AOTLog, number 2. This time we're going to be talking about the supposed leaks that have come out for chapter 139. It only took a few, like maybe 5 or 6 hours after my first AOTLog for leaks to come out. And they're interesting to say the least. Personally, I'm not very happy with them if they are true, and I'll get into in a minute why they might not be true. But yeah, they're not favorable in my eyes, and I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this chapter as much as I was before. If these are true, why might these not be true? Zekken, the leaker, apparently he's been known to troll in the past. He might just be trolling. And last time he leaked 138, he said, I believe, I don't remember, but people on the subreddits and Discord and all that are saying like he said he wasn't gonna leak this chapter. So it might just be all trolling. And honestly, good troll. That's actually really insane trolling right there. Because good lord, he got pretty much everybody if he was just trolling. But we're gonna go into these leaks as if they were true. This is gonna be a lot more structured than my rambling last time because I know what I'm talking about here. I know what I am going to talk about. They're split up into 3 different sections too, so that helps. So also this is gonna be different than my last video because last time was more rambly, and I decided I wanted to go for more podcasty kind of route because it's easier to just edit and get out. Even though the last video was insanely easy to edit, I wasn't really having fun with it, and I just really wanted to get my opinions and stuff out there and not have to worry about any of that. So it's mostly going to be one image that I made to represent the video, and so I might put in a few images here and there, but I probably went with these since they're just texts. And also I want to mention that we have gotten some image leaks. They are likely fake. These are a lot easier to tell if they're fake, and the only one that looked semi-real, it is on the subreddit Titanfolk. It looks kind of real. I don't know. People are saying it's fake, and that's out of the way. Let's begin. Let's get into these leaks. So part 1 of these leaks, I'm gonna read them and interject whenever I feel like it. Alright, 139. Zekken also says that this is story speculation, and he said he had to use that word, speculation, to avoid any trouble from the Japan side as it's strict now, but that could also be to make these look more credible or something. I'm not really sure. Eren takes Armin into the path, just like how Zeke took Eren to the path before. Just like in the past chapters 120, 121, 122, we see Eren and Zeke like butt heads together and go into paths. So apparently this happens with Eren and Armin. And in my last video, I did state that I would like another Eren and Armin interaction. So when I first read this, I was like actually kind of happy. But the resulting stuff that happens kind of ruined that. I do like this part. I do genuinely, I'm okay with this part. They saw stuff from back in the day and continue their conversation. They watch the ocean as they hold hands in adult form, and then Armin punches Eren. Mind you, these leaks, as usual, they don't have much context or much detail. So obviously, I doubt it's just they hold hands and then he goes in for the punch. It's probably missing a lot of dialogue in between and whatnot. But yeah, this is interesting. I think it's cute and cool. They conversate. I like that they will go and watch the ocean. I think that's cool. I think holding hands is interesting. I'm sure a lot of Eren Armin shippers would be happy about that. I think it's cute. I don't ship them, but I think just as like friends, that's like, I don't know, it just seems like a cool little scene. And then he punches Eren, apparently. As it was worded, somebody said it was like, this is like a start of a battle of ideologies. It's not an actual fight. Like, Eren would win if it was an actual fight. Armin punching Eren kind of, I would assume it means, this is the start. I'll explain more in this next part. Background changes to after the something. There's Chinese characters. I don't know what it means. So it says it could mean after Armin beats Eren. So maybe Armin won in this battle of ideologies type thing. It's like, I guess, I don't really have any thoughts on that. Or it can mean after the rumbling. But the word in itself does not mean rumbling. That's just referring to the Chinese characters. So, and then Armin hugs Eren as a final goodbye. Before he leaves, he saw someone. I don't know who this could be. Maybe it's Ymir. I really don't know. And it could relate to this next bit. Armin wakes up. He sees Mikasa holding Eren's head. So maybe he saw Mikasa in the distance. Zekken just couldn't see who it was. Armin hugs Eren as a final goodbye. I'm okay. I think that's cool. That's okay. And then waking up, sees Mikasa holding Eren's head. And he goes up to her and cries hard. He breaks down, it seems like. It makes sense. I mean, after all this stuff, it's understandable. So this first part is probably the best part of these leaks. They're not the best, but they are the best part of the leaks that we have so far. And that's part 1. Part 2, all of the pure titans are detitanized and everybody's fine now. I hate this. I really, really, really do not like this part. I think it really, it takes away the gut punch effect that we had last time. Because I honestly wasn't expecting any more people to get titanized, but then you got the families and all that right before proper reunions could be held. I mean, Annie couldn't even hug her dad. I thought that was very tragically done, but it was good. I thought it was very good. If these leaks are true, this is extremely disappointing to me. I'm sure other people will be like, wow, okay, this is great because, Jean and Connie are back. And I don't know, I feel like they got a decent send-off. And it just kind of, them coming back to being humans kind of takes away from that send-off. It makes it feel cheap. It'd be different if it was chapters way later. But this is the chapter right after they get titanized. It's like, what was even the point? Then Levi sees Hanji and Erwin and everyone else in the hot steam. So he sees his comrades. Obviously not actually, I assume. You never know at this point. But I think that's nice. After all this, their sacrifices were worth it, I guess. And then John and Connie see Sasha smiling in the hot steam. Okay. I mean, that's cute. But, see these leaks as moments without context of the rest of the story. They're nice. I for one I'm very excited for the art this chapter, as I always am, because I love Isayama's art. So that's really the only thing, if these leaks are true, that I'm actually looking forward to out of this chapter. The story of the chapter, not so much. Reiner and his mother reunite and hug. Armin dealing with the aftermath, and in parentheses it says whatever that means, it's not clear in Chinese. So Reiner and Karina get a decent ending. Karina, of all people, gets a decent ending. What? I genuinely hate that. I hate that. I know she came to realize her mistakes and all that, but out of all the people in this story, she gets a happy ending. That's just, that's rough. And then Armin dealing with the aftermath. Expected, it's probably still breaking down. Mikasa leaves with the head. Or the original, Japanese could have meant take the lead, or literally taking the head, so this part is up to debate. I would assume it means taking the head, because, right after she cut Eren's head off. So that's the end of the part 2. That is not awful. It's not good. It's bad. It's bad. So it's kind of degrading with as these leaks go on. Okay, now we're going to head into part 3. The worst part. The absolute worst part, in my opinion. Cute a few years after. We get a time skip. That is something I was not expecting and not wanting. So a lot of things are getting rushed this chapter. Historia holding a child, celebrating a birthday with the man behind her. The man is presumably the farmer. So there goes my whole theory with Eren being the father. So Historia is holding a child, celebrating a birthday. I think that's cute. Okay, next. Everybody else grew up, takes a boat, and went away, including Reiner. Everybody else grew up. This is a few years after all, so, we got... In the distance, a grown-up Gabby and Falco, they are pushing Levi in a wheelchair. Now, at first when I read this, I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, oh, okay. But then the more I think about it, Gabby and Falco? They're the ones pushing Levi's wheelchair? What? I guess. Levi's in a wheelchair too, which makes sense. His leg got crushed. So, yeah, that's interesting. And next is the really weird stuff. it's really weird, and the implications and memes that came from this they're funny. I'll give them that. A bird flies by from the sky. People on the boat see the bird. In an unknown location, Mikasa is sitting under a tree. Next to her is a small grave. I'm assuming that tree is the same tree from chapter 1, and the small grave is Aaron's grave. That bird comes to Mikasa and pecks at her scarf, then flies away into the distance. So the implication, I believe, here is that the bird could be a reincarnated Aaron. Now that is interesting. It makes the whole Ellen becomes Dove crying meme so much funnier. And a lot of this part right here is what makes people think these are fake, because they use these leaks. They do pretty much a lot of character assassinating, and good lord, it's not good. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the chapters. They're not good. I genuinely think that I wanted this chapter to really make the Rumbling arc, because the Rumbling arc had quite a few flaws, and it sucks because, it's the final arc. You want the ending to be the best. And assuming that these are true, this chapter could very easily ruin the Rumbling arc. It could ruin characters, and for some people it could ruin the entire story. And I can't blame them for that, because the entire journey here was all leading up to this. And for the final chapter to do this, it would really, really be unfortunate. I love the series with all my heart, but it's not prone to criticism. In fact, I'd say that's one part of loving something, is that you're able to criticize it. This wouldn't ruin the series for me entirely. I still think it's a fantastic series up until these last few chapters. But it will definitely leave a mark and make me remember the series not as good as I would hope to. I would want my favorite series to have a good and satisfying conclusion. And, like I said, assuming these are true, this simply is not a satisfying conclusion. It's quite the opposite. It's pretty much the opposite of what I wanted. And some people might find this chapter a good chapter. They might find it to be good. They might find it to be great, actually. And I genuinely wish I could. I really wish I could love this chapter. Now, you could say, oh, well, it's not out yet. We reserve your judgments. Similar thing happened with 137. Now, 137 wasn't the best chapter or anything at all. It really wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. It was good. But the leaks made it seem, they made it seem bad. So this could be the same thing happening here, because we don't have the context or any of that stuff. But the main points of those leaks of 137 and 138 were what happened in the chapter. They just weren't contextualized and we didn't see them, but they still happened, and that could have changed how people felt about the chapter, obviously. Could this happen with this chapter? Yeah. However, with the main points right now, this is stuff that is going to happen in the chapter if these aren't fake, and I don't think there's any way to save it. I think these just go against everything that's been written so far, and it sucks. It really, really does. It's disappointing, and I hate to say that. I really, really, really hate to say that. I might have gotten my hopes too high, and that's kind of what's really killing me. But this is just, I don't know. It kind of cuts deep. So, anyways, final thoughts. These leaks are not good. These leaks are terrible. So I hope they're not true. I hope they are fake. That's the ideal situation here. But I still am thankful that I loved this series enough to even be this disappointed by something pertaining to the series. That's not something I've really had before. And so I think that's a testament of just how I feel about the series and how it is really my favorite. This series resonated with me. And I don't want it to go out like this, but if it does, I am going to have to accept it. But yeah, like I said before, there's some image leaks. The one prominent one depicted the Mikasa scene under the tree and the bird. But apparently it was by an artist who did it, but I don't know if that's true either. there's a lot of unconfirmed things going on right now. But yeah, and the other image leaks were fake. They're very fake. Very obviously fake. Also, these leaks, by the way, they never mentioned anything about the "You Are Free" ending final panel. Is it possible Isayama could have changed it? Of course it is. But I doubt it. I feel like Isayama has definitely had these parts of the story planned since he released that panel. So that's it. Those are my thoughts. And I'm gonna end it here. Shinzo Sasagio. Dedicate your hearts, baby. Bye.